Friends, I'm Dr. Kiran Deshwal, Assistant Professor English, and today I will teach you the sonnet My Love is Like to Ice and I to Fire, composed by British poet Edmund Spencer. Before starting the sonnet, let us have a brief introduction of this sonnet. My Love is Like to Ice and I to Fire is written by Edmund Spencer, and this is a sonnet. Let me tell you first what is a sonnet. A sonnet is a short poem of 14 lines. So it's a sonnet and it's a poem of 14 line sonnet. And this sonnet conforms to the pattern of a traditional Spenserian sonnet. There are two types of sonnets in English literature, Shakespearean sonnet and Spenserian sonnet. So this sonnet is a Spenserian sonnet. This form of sonnet writing was pioneered by the poet himself. Edmund Spencer himself started writing this type of sonnets and is marked by the three interlocking quatrains and a concluding couplet. In this sonnet, we will have three quatrains and a concluding couplet in which the poet will claim his statement. The lines rhyme A B for the first quatrain we will have the rhyming scheme A B, and for the second quatrain we will have B C, and for the third C D, and for the last we will have E. For the couplet we will have the rhyme scheme E. Additionally, a reader should note that the first 12 lines pose three different questions to the reader. This sonnet is written in the form of questions. In this sonnet, we will have rhetorical questions. So, in each quatrain, there will be a question. These are then answered in the final couplet, and all these questions will be answered in the final couplet. As was Spencer's habit, the sonnet is composed in iambic pentameter. So the meter of this sonnet is iambic pentameter. This means that each line contains 5 sets of 2 beats. Stressed syllables and unstressed. Five sets will be there, stressed and unstressed. The first of these beats is unstressed and the second is stressed. This sonnet, My Love is Like to Ice and I to Fire, is also known as Amority 30. This is sonnet number 30 from his collection of sonnet which is known as Amority or sonnet 30. It was one of 89 sonnets. Amority is a collection of 89 sonnets composed by Edmund Spencer. Spencer wrote to celebrate his marriage to Elizabeth Boyle. Due to these passionate love lyrics, Spencer's poetry has come to represent true passion displayed through a fresh form. So let us begin our sonnet. This is, as I told you, this is sonnet number 30 from his collection of sonnets which is known as Amority, and the title of our sonnet is My Love is Like to Ice and I to Fire, and this sonnet is composed by Edmund Spencer, and the theme of this sonnet is love. And at that time it was customary to write on such themes like life, love, death and time. These four are the major themes for the sonneteers at that time. So let us begin our sonnet. My love is like to ice and I to fire. How comes it then that this her called so great is not dissolved through my so hot desire, but harder grows the more I her entreat. So this is the first quatrain. The first 4 lines of the sonnet are known as first quatrain, and in the first quatrain the poet describes the nature of the lovers, the lover and the beloved. He says that my love is like to ice. He says that I am the lover and I am like ice. In this sonnet, we will have a lot of similes. The title also includes a simile that he describes his love to ice. He says that my love is like to ice and I to fire. So the lover compares himself with fire and his beloved to to ice. He says that these are opposite components, these are opposite elements. Always ice when there is fire, ice gets melt, but here the situation is different. He says that my love is like to ice, my beloved is like ice and I to fire, and I am burning like fire in love. How comes it then that his her called so great? If I am fire, why she is not melting? Why it is happening? And why she is not dissolved? Why she is not melting through my so hot desire? But harder grows the more I her entreat, and she grows harder. She is steadfast as my urge increases, and it is very paradoxical situation. So in the first quatrain, the poet compares himself to fire and his beloved to ice, and he wonders why the ice is not melting, why my beloved is not responding on my urge of love. Or how comes it that my exceeding heat is not allayed by her heart frozen cold? So this paradoxical situation is vice versa. He says that if she is not melting, I should be seized. If there is too much ice, fire ceases. Fire doesn't burn anymore. But how it comes that I am also burning and she is also freezing? So this is the opposite situation. Or how it comes that my exceeding heat is not allayed, it is not seized by her heart frozen cold? She is so cold, but my desire is not ceasing, is not calming down, but that I burn much more in boiling sweat and feel my flames augmented manifold. So this is the second stanza, in which the poet compares his situation again. He says that if she is ice, I should be extinguished, but I am not. Why? What more miraculous things may be told, but that I burn much more in boiling sweat and feel my flames augmented manifold? What more miraculous thing may be told, that fire which all things melts should harden ice? It is a very different situation. Ice, fire which melts everything, is unable to fridge, it unable to melt down the ice, the hardened ice. And ice which is concealed with senseless cold should kindle fire by wonderful device. So how it is happening? So these are the three questions, and in this last couplet he answers all these questions. He says that such is the power of love. All this is happening just because of love. The power of love is very powerful, and due to the power of love, all these things are happening in gentle mind, that it can alter all the course of kind, it can alter all the usual or natural courses. So it is very usual, it is happening just because of the power of love. So this is the theme of our sonnet, and thanks for watching. We will be continuing our next video.